Alrighty. Give me 1 second here. I forgot how you find the link to share. Okay, bet. Alright. Live on YouTube now. All right, so you guys know we normally do the free three. I'm not doing that today. Didn't have time, but I am going to give a few plays from the slate, from the board, what I like today in the NFL. Obviously, we got our Eagles playing the Saints at 1 o'clock. I'm going to go through every game real quickly, kind of tell you what I like, what I don't like. And then, yeah, feel free to drop in the comments what you guys like. I'll be able to see them. And let's have a day. So let's look at the first game on the board here. Let me see if I can get my screen share going. There we go. All right, let's make this full screen here. All right, bow. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. So first game of the day, we've got the Eagles. We've got the Saints here. So we've got a line of 2.5. Let's pull up DraftKings Sportsbook. So this way we can see what we like. Now, I will give you guys a caveat that I am 6-0 on best bets inside of the Eagle games. So my first pick of the day for the Eagle game is, if I can find the NFL tab, there we go. And then let's see. I guess we should start up here. But, all right, let's go with the Eagles and the Saints. I want to get that out. So let's look at the rushing props. So first and foremost, I lean the Eagles on the money line, right? I do lean the Eagles on the money line at plus 120. I think we get good value on that. 2.5, I don't really like that because you don't get that field goal. So I would either play the money line and then I would play the line move here on the juice. But one play that I'm going to do, I'm going to start this off first with this. Eagles drop from 2.5, right? So I'm going to take them here. You guys know I love teasers, right? So let's go Eagles 2.5. Let's go Vikings plus 2, okay? And then we're going to follow this up with the Buccaneers minus 6. If we take a 6-point teaser on this, look at this, plus 160 on this to get to the Eagles plus 8.5, so we get over that touchdown number. Vikings plus 8 over that touchdown number, and then we get the Buccaneers basically on the money line. So that is my first pick of the day. All right, so first pick is going to be, we're going to go with a 6-point teaser here. We're going to go with a 3-piecer, and then we're going to go Bucks money line, Eagles plus 8.5, and we're going to take the Vikings up to plus 8. I will say this, I think that Texans game is the trap of the week. Why? I think we're getting a little bit of an overreaction here, okay? The Houston Texans, they've looked good through the first few games, rightfully so, but there's no Joe Mixon today. That's big. That there is no Joe Mixon today. That is really big for this team. We know he's a focal point of that offense and that lineup here. If we go look at the Texans game real quickly, let's look at this real quickly. They're 2-0, obviously, right? 19-13 was not that good of a win, 29-27. So they actually haven't covered in each of the last 2 games, if I am correct on that. Let's see here. Yeah, see, they're 0-2 against the spread. But I think it's like by a combined 1.5, though. So it's nothing too crazy, but the Vikings are 2-0 against the spread. They are at home, and it has been said that, what's his name? The wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is playing, okay? So if we look at some of the props that we've got here, I do like C.J. Stroud over 216.5. I do lean that the Vikings are going to win this game, and I do lean that he's going to have to throw the ball. 33.5 is not too bad. Let's go to StatMuse. Let's see what C.J. Stroud has been doing. C.J. Stroud game log here. So 36 attempts, 32 attempts. That's not bad. And with no Joe Mixon here, 33.5, I like that. So I would add that to my card here. CJ Stroud over 34.5. I would take 33.5 if you can get that. Let's see here. It looks like they've got 33.5 on FanDuel. I would take that on FanDuel, or I would just go for the alt line. So right now we've got 2 picks. Let me make like a little. Let me get my notes up here so this way you guys can see this. Stickies. Well, I'm trying to find a way to drag it onto the screen here. It doesn't want me to be great, so let's just do it this way. All right, so far, this is what we're taking. We're taking a 6-point teaser. 3-piece. Feel free to take it down to 2. We're going to go Bucks, money line. Eagles plus 8.5. And we're going to take the Vikings to plus 8. That gets us to plus 160. That's best bet number 1. All right. That's best bet number 1. All right. All right. Best bet number 2. All right. This is what we're looking at for best bet number 2. We're looking at CJ Stroud over 33.5 pass attempts. That gets us to about minus 120 on. That's on FanDuel. All right. So I like that as well. Okay. Again, I think this is the trap game of the week. So I believe that the Vikings are going to win this game at home. I believe in Sam Darnold. I didn't like the showing that the Texans had against the Bears. It came down to a late. It was more Chicago. Just C.J. Williams has to figure out how to play at this level. I mean, Caleb Williams has to figure out how to play on this level. But overall, I like that. Let's see what else that we got here. Okay. You guys know how I feel about the Buccaneers, but one prop that I was looking at inside of this game. Look at this prop I was looking at. It's bumped up a little bit, right? But Courtland Sutton over 40.5 receiving yards. This is scary low. Scary low. Why are we getting so much value on Courtland Sutton here? 40.5 for a wide receiver 1. That's a little bit unheard of. I mean, when we look at Courtland Sutton, right? He 26 yards last game, 38 yards in game 1. So he would have went over this one, right? And I was reading a stat here. I'm going to try to pull it up. He has run the 11th most routes in football through the last 2 weeks. And the Bucks are giving up the 4th most yards to wide receivers last year and just got torched by Detroit, right? Let's look at that real quick. So the Buccaneers right now, let's look at the lines. Last week, Amon St. Brown 119, Jameson Williams 79, Montgomery 35. So yeah, that's definitely not the best. Let's look up pass yards allowed per game. So we're looking at the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay. Look at that, bottom of the league right there. So yes, I understand that they have some problems with what's going on in Denver, but I do like Courtland Sutton over 30. What number did we get here? Shit. I really like that 39.5 number. Bet MGM. It's minus 120. Bet MGM. All right, that's my best bet number 2. All right. Best bet number 3. So we got this tease piece here, so let's clear that. I don't really have anything in this Browns Giants game, but I do like this as a tease piece here because you're going through that key number of 6. The Giants suck, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Browns either, so, take that with a grain of salt. Let's look at this Eagles game real quick. I have a few picks for you guys in this Eagles game. So in the Eagles game, first and foremost, we're going to go Deontay Smith over 5.5 receptions. It might be 6.5 on your book. You could take his yards. Like, look at his yards. 71.5, that's not bad. But 5.5 is the number you want to get. Minus 138 on FanDuel. Look at Devontae Smith's numbers. All right, so Devontae Smith. All right. 76 yards last game, 7 receptions. 84 yards in game 1, 7 receptions. Lions 5.5. No A.J. Brown today. Still injured. Most reliable target for Jalen Hurts. Look at this box score. Jalen Hurts is not passing the ball around. He's literally looking for the same exact people. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Britton Covey, and that's because there's no A.J. Brown, Saquon, and then look. Nobody else. So literally, he's the only receiver besides Britton Covey who is getting any type of touches. If we look at the last game against the Packers, same exact situation. Take out A.J. Brown because A.J. Brown's not playing. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon, right? Other tight end, running back. No receivers. Devontae Smith is his safety valve. Devontae Smith is the guy that he leans on. Over 5.5 receptions, minus 138 on FanDuel. Over 5.5 receptions, minus 138 on FanDuel. Now, there's another play that I like in this game as well. Yep. Hold on. All right, bet. I want to take a look at Alvin Kamara. I want to look at the longest rush. Alvin Kamara, longest rush over 15.5 yards. We got 14.5 on FanDuel. I would smash that. Look at this. Look at this. And I know this because I'm an Eagles fan. Right? Look at this shit. Let me make sure to pull up your comments. All my plays posted. My bad, bro. I didn't see the comments. My bad, bro. Make that a little smaller. All right, so plays are posted. Where's the... He can live. Plays posted in Discord. We'll put... Sorry, I'm trying to respond. All right. Look at this. We're looking at the longest rush for Alvin Kamara. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Eagles defense. Look at this box score. Longest rush last week for Bijan, 19 yards. Algier, 15 yards. Let's go back to game 1 against the Packers. Josh Jacobs, 32. Emmanuel Wilson, 18. Jaden Reed, 33. They give up big plays. Alvin Kamara, longest rush over 14.5 on FanDuel. That's beautiful. And if you want to look at Alvin Kamara's numbers to see like is he actually breaking those off like that? Look at this. Game 1 against the Panthers, longest rush 17 yards, cashed it. Let's go to game 2 against the Cowboys. Longest 15 yards. That would have hooked if you get the 15.5. It would have, but I mean, 20 at 115, you can't be mad at that. But look at this. Longest reception, 57. He's gonna torch the Eagles today. Alvin Kamara, I'm not opposed to his dual line. It's just gonna be expensive. His combo square is just gonna be expensive. Like his, 109. That's just high. I like longest rush over 14.5 yards. This is on FanDuel. This is minus 110. All right. I got a few more plays. For y'all. I got a few more plays for you guys. All right. Another play that I got in this Eagles game. Let's go look at Mr. Jalen Hurts himself. He's healthy. When Jalen Hurts is healthy, he runs the ball. Over 43.5 rushing yards. Let's look at this. Let's look at this number. All right, so first, let's go look at what Jalen Hurts has been doing. Jalen Hurts. Game log. Rushing. 13 attempts. 85 yards. Game 1, 33 yards, still 13 attempts. So if you want to take a look at 9.5 is just high. I mean, you got the tush push, but that's just high. I like the over 43.5. I like that. Dak's not even a rushing quarterback. 12 yards. Bryce Young, 12 yards. He probably went over his line. Not convinced. I like it. I don't know if it's enough to get me over the hump, but I like it. But one more play that I like in this game, Chris Olave. He's going to tear us up. He is going to tear us up. Over 5.5 receptions, I would look at that. Or you can look at his line. Four receptions on 2 targets, 81 yards, 2 for 2 for 11 yards, right? But look at the Eagles' pass defense. How many yards? Look at that, 242 they're giving up per game. I also like Derek Carr's pass attempts. I think you take a look at what his line is at in terms of passing yards. Like, the Eagles' defense is not showing me anything that gives me any type of faith that they'll get this done. 244.5. His pass attempts is at 31.5. That's not bad. Jalen Hurts is at 30.5. That's not bad. But I really like Chris Olave here. I think that this is his game, and I also think this is Shaheed's game as well. So we're gonna go Chris Olave over 5.5 receptions. Okay. And then that is it for this game. So, Chris, let's just do this. It's minus 102 on FanDuel. That's beautiful value. Guys, all these plays I'm giving you guys, I'm taking myself. Okay? So I want you guys to know that. Like, I'm not giving you guys plays that I'm personally not taking. Alright? Last thing that I want to talk about is first Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football matchup. Falcons and the Chiefs. Sunday Night Football, Falcons and the Chiefs. Okay? -3 is the spread right now in that game. The Chiefs -3 on the road against the Falcons -3. Now, are you guys convinced by that or not? This is my read on this game. If the Falcons lose to the Eagles, this spread's easily -5, -4.5. Falcons are at home, so that's where we're getting basically the 3 points there on the spread. But I'm not convinced, man. I'm not convinced. The Eagles blew that game more than the Falcons won that game. I like Kyle Pitts in this game today. Kyle Pitts has to be better. Okay? He has to be better. 3.5 receptions is not asking too much for him to get 4 receptions, okay? When you look at the numbers, okay, KC has allowed the most targets, receptions, and yards to tight ends this season. Okay? Like, even if you go like if we go to the fantasy board, let me pull up my little fantasy team here. Y'all get to see my fantasy team. And we're looking at the Falcons. Who the fuck has Kyle Pitts? Look at that. 32nd. Look at that. 11 receptions, 125 yards for tight ends. 14, 151 yards against tight ends. Look at this. Like, look at that. The position versus opposition rating. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews combined for 11 targets in this first game. Cincinnati, we had Mike Gesicki and Drew Sample for 10 receptions, right? And now, when you look at Kyle Pitts, he has to be more of a focal point in this offense. So we've hooked twice. 3 receptions, 3 receptions. I like it. I like it. Kyle Pitts. Over. 3.5 receptions. It's -110. Lock it in. Lock it in. Last thing. I'm taking the Chiefs -2.5. I'm taking the Chiefs -2.5. Okay? I'm not buying this Falcons team. They are frauds. This is a big game, Sunday Night Football. Mahomes knows what he's doing. You can't tease this because you can't cross the zeros. But I'm taking the Chiefs -2.5. They're going to tax me for that hook, but I will pay for it. What are we looking at here? Let's look at the game lines. I need the alt spread. Give me that alt spread. -125. I'm paying that every time. All right. Last pick for you guys. We're going to go with Matthew Stafford today. Okay. $216 yards last game, 317 yards the game before that. Okay, the Rams are taking on San Francisco. Letdown spot for San Francisco. No Debo. I think Kittle is questionable. Obviously, they lost last week on the road to the Vikings. This is a big opportunity. But let's look at these numbers last week for the Vikings. Right? 268 for Sam Darnold. Let's go to week 1. Come on. Aaron Rodgers didn't do too good week 1. But 167, right? But this is the thing that I'm looking at here. San Francisco's always near the top when teams are throwing on them often. So I think Stafford is somebody that we should take a look at today. And 216 is kind of low, not going to lie. But his attempts at 32.5 is kind of low. Look at this. We're looking at, a ton of injuries, a 6.5 point spread, but it is a divisional game. So that means that, hey, the Rams are going to fight, and if they're going to fight, that means Stafford is throwing the ball. And I think we're getting value here because people are going to say, who is he throwing it to? There's no Puka. There is no Cooper Kupp. But the question becomes, right, what are we looking at from a rushing standpoint? Because last time I checked, the 49ers had one of the top rushing defenses. Let's see. 12th in all the NFL. So if they keep Williams from being able to get off and loading the box up, 15 attempts, that means Stafford is going to have to rely on his tight ends. He's going to have to rely on some of his speedy guys like Atwell. He's going to rely on screen passes like Williams. I'm really torn between the pass attempts just because we had a blowout last game, and I was on that. But 49 attempts in game one? I mean, come on, man. Look at these numbers, even dating back to last season. I'm taking Stafford. Let's look at his game log versus the 49ers, right? Let's look at that specifically. 55, 33, 48, 32, 41, 53, 37, 32, 50. Look at that. And we're getting what? $32.5, minus 125. BetMGM. Log it in. That's it. That's what we're taking on the card today in the NFL. I love every one of these picks. We're going to make coin today. And it's going to be a great day. All right, y'all. I'm going to have a few more picks and plays inside the Discord group. I'm going to drop a few more for the premium members, but this is more than enough for you guys on this Sunday card. Minus 125 on FanDuel. All right. Whoops. So, to recap everything real quickly, before we get out of here, games are about to start. Six-point teaser, plus 160. Bucks on the money line. Eagles plus 8.5. Vikings plus 8. Then we're going to take C.J. Stroud over 33.5 pass attempts. We're going to take Cortland Sutton over 39.5 receiving yards. We're taking Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions. Alvin Kamara, longest rush, over 14.5 yards. We're taking Chris Olave over 5.5 receptions. The reason why we have so many Eagle plays in there is because we're 6-0 on Eagle plays this year. Kyle Pitts over 3.5 receptions. That's Sunday Night Football. We're taking the Chiefs on the Sunday Night Football game, minus 125 on the spread. And then Stafford over 32.5 pass attempts. That game comes on at 4 o'clock. All right? So we literally have a game. And then I also lean the Ravens on the money line. If you guys know all the numbers about Lamar Jackson when he is an underdog or when he has a spread within the threes against the NFC, I think his numbers are like 26-1. He's covered the spread like 20 times, only like missed it like 4 or 5 times. I mean, his numbers against the NFC, and when you have a low spread, a tight spread is ridiculous. So I lean the Ravens in that game, but that is a game that I'll probably like look to grab live. All right. So that's it for me today, my friends. I wanted to cop on here real quickly so we could just talk a few best bets through, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to everybody at Clemson that I got to meet yesterday. Had an amazing, amazing time. And yeah, man, it's now time to lock in some bets. Let's get to the money today. Let's cash in. And if you guys need anything, just shoot me a message, man. All right. Yesterday we went crazy. Yesterday on the channel, what did we do yesterday on the channel? We do I still have those plays? I'll recap. I'll recap the channel on Monday. But this is what we're taking here on the for this Sunday slate. Appreciate y'all. Let's have a day. Let's get to that money, and I'll see y'all next game. Later.